What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see behind me, on what's turned out to be a breezy day. I really don't mind though, because the sun's a little bit warm out here. It's supposed to be in the mid 60s. I think we're probably not quite at 60 yet, but should end up being a nice day overall. But no matter what the weather does, I'm still gonna get some interesting testing done out here, and this one right here should be a really good critical duty test. So of course, the jelly contraption set up with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now I've done one test so far. I tried to keep everything to the back side, so it should have plenty of room. I'll leave a link above if y'all hadn't seen that one there. Of course, as always, I'm using a heavy clothing barrier in front of the gel with a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And this one right here is a kind of a spin-off, I guess you could call it, to the critical defense test I just recently did a week ago. Now, y'all know on that one, I actually pulled the insert to see what kind of difference we would get, and it was really surprising. We didn't get any clogging, but it definitely revealed that a lot of the purpose of that insert is controlled expansion, not just to prevent clogging, but to keep it from over expanding so you still get enough penetration. So as soon as I saw that, one of the first things that popped to mind was to do the same thing with this critical duty. I'm actually a big fan of critical duty in general. I just really like the extra penetration that you get, but some people would like to see a little bit less penetration and a little more expansion. So we're gonna see if removing the insert on this one causes the same thing that it did with that critical defense. Now, the version I chose to go with is the 124 grain plus P. As far as 124 grain, they don't make a standard duty, standard pressure critical duty. All they have is 124 plus P, and then they have 135 grain standard and plus P. Me personally, I went with the 124 plus P because if I was running critical duty, this is the one I would be running. Now, the ballistics for this is saying 1175 feet per second at the muzzle, so nice energy out of this, and that is out of a 4-inch barrel. Here you can see both the cartridges, nice nickel plating, and then there's your FTX projectiles. This one here has got the insert, and then obviously the one on the left, I've removed the insert. Now, as far as what I'm testing it out of, I'm going to use the same exact thing I did with the critical defense, because again, this is saying a 4-inch barrel is where they've got those velocities. So we've got the Gen 5 G19 with the 4-inch barrel. So I'm definitely interested personally to see what kind of results we get out of this one right here. Let's get it all set up and see what happens. All right, let's see what kind of velocity we get from these bad boys. I'm gonna do a 5-round average on them. Now, all of these have the inserts. I'm not gonna run with them without the insert on the velocity. Just like last time I mentioned, these inserts are under a grain in weight. Any kind of velocity difference you would see would be well within the extreme spread. So there's really no need to do both as far as the velocity. Now, you will see multiple readings from this radar. The large numbers at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And I've got the others set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now, remember, the box on this is saying 1175 out of a 4-inch barrel, which is what we've got here. So I expect to see that. If I remember right, critical duty, I think, is usually pretty good about giving you the velocity that they claim. 1189, 1176, 1167, 1158, and 1173. I was gonna say it started out super strong. It started going downhill, but we bumped it up a little at the end. Let's see what the average was. All right, so we are right there at what they're claiming. Our 5-round average was 1173 feet per second. We had an extreme spread of 31 with an 11.6 standard deviation. So again, I think critical duty most of the time does hit or come right close to meeting the velocity that they claim. So at 1173, that's more like I like to see from a 124, not this really low stuff that we've been seeing lately. And I think that's going to be plenty to give us some good performance in the gel. But let me get it all set up, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's with or without the insert, it's still going to bring the hurt jelly time. I'm going to put one of each into the gel, starting with the insert first. Again, I think both of these are going to do a really nice job. All right, that should have been a good one right there. Let me go see what I got. All right, no surprises down there so far. It's looking really nice, and it did what a critical duty does pretty much every single time. This right here is going to be where we might see some interesting stuff. All right, I think I put it up under that other one. Let's go check his stuff out. All right, let's check this stuff out down here, y'all. Now, I just want to reiterate again right quick for all the attention span challenge watchers out there, there was a heavy clothing barrier used for this test, just like there was on the critical defense test, and just like there has been on every single test that I do after about the first year of doing this. So just so y'all know, once again, there is a heavy clothing barrier that was used on this test, as I showed at the very beginning and as y'all saw during the test. So what we got down here for this one is definitely not nearly as big of a difference from what I can tell so far as we saw on the critical defense. On the top here, that's the one with the insert, comes in here, nice expansion immediately, you can tell, nice energy transfer all the way through this first block, travels into this second block probably 2 inches, and you got some expansion from it, nothing incredible, but you've got pretty much what we always see from critical duty. And then down below that, of course, that's the one without the insert. Pretty much the same thing. Now it looks a little bit smaller of a disruption from this angle, but that really means nothing at all. They're pretty much the exact same here. Travels on through the block. Once again, nice energy transfer into this second block. Now, I don't know if it's just me looking to see a difference or not, but to me, it looks like there is definitely an expansion difference right here on this one without the insert. That being said, not nearly as big of a penetration loss without the insert like we saw on the critical defense. I think, if I'm guessing without seeing this so far, I may be guessing wrong, but that's probably just because the design of this critical duty only allows for so much expansion just because of how shallow the cavity is. But in both cases so far, it's looking really, really nice. So as far as our penetration, the one with the insert is out here to exactly 18 inches. So very, very nice penetration there. The one without the insert is at exactly 17.5 inches. So you got half of an inch less penetration on the one without the insert, but very, very nice from both of them. And then here's your close look. As you can see, both of them, no doubt, nice expansion immediately, nice transfer all the way through this block. And then if you take a look at these projectiles, the one behind in the back up above was with the insert, and then that's without the insert. To me, it looks like clearly more expansion, well, the one without the insert. And then looking from the top here is kind of a waste of time because they're stacked right on top of each other. Even at an angle, it's going to be kind of difficult, but I think you got the picture there. And then once again, if we look at these projectiles, I'm pretty sure that one without the insert is going to be more expanded. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles, y'all. So this one right here is the one without the insert, obviously. This is with the insert. You can see definitely a big difference right here. We got the exact same kind of effect that we got from the critical defense. Now this one with the insert was with the insert when I got it, but I'm gonna remove it just to show y'all here. I mean, you can see, look at the difference right there. Much, much more expansion without the insert. So, and there was absolutely no clogging, nothing even thought about clogging, no kind of cloth in the front of either one of these. So as far as I see from both of these tests so far, this little insert isn't about the anti-clogging at all. Now, I know critical duty is also designed to go through harder barriers, but that's not what we're testing right here. It could be different, but I would be willing to say that you can take these results and kind of convert those over to other barriers. You're going to get the same kind of effect. Now, you're not going to have the same look. You're not even going to have the same look with an insert, more than likely, through harder barriers. But I would be willing to say, without a doubt, you're going to have the same type of difference in effectiveness when you're talking with and without the insert, regardless of barrier type. Now, one thing I will say, and you can probably see too, we definitely lost more material with this one. A couple of the lead pedals that got drug out, looks like they got broke off, so no doubt more material loss, but you can see there is quite a big difference in expansion right there. So those inserts absolutely do affect the rate of expansion for sure. So let's get us a few measurements and see what we got with that. They both started at 124 on the weight. This one with the insert is actually at 124.0 without that insert. If I put that insert back, then we're at 124.6, so nothing lost right there. And then this one here that was without the insert, That one's actually down to 122.8, so you did have some loss there. There's no doubt about it, but not much in either case. And then as far as your expanded size here, the one with the insert, you got 4.54 and 4.57, so nice even expansion right there. And then this one without the insert, you got 5.06 and 4.60, so definitely more expansion right there. Probably not much to make any kind of meaningful difference, but you can obviously see without that insert definitely makes some kind of difference. And there you go, y'all, the Hornady Critical Duty 124 grain plus P with and without the insert. Definitely another very interesting test right here. Now, I know some people, I got to comment in the other ones, just go get ammo that does what you want and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know you can find ammo. I'm not running either one of these unless that's what I have and don't have my other really spicy stuff. Not that I don't like these. I do like the performance here, but I've got spicier rounds and that's what I like. But it's just very interesting to me to see what kind of differences you get by removing some of these. I wouldn't call this a gimmick, but some of the little add-on stuff that they do with this ammo nowadays. So yeah, you can get ammo that does what you're trying to get it to do, but it's still interesting either way to see the difference here. But all that being said, I'm still a fan of these critical duties with or without the insert, but I don't think I'm going to go pulling all my inserts anytime soon. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for what I think was another really interesting 9mm test. Personally, I think this pretty much confirms that the real purpose of those inserts is to control expansion, to keep from overexpanding too soon so you get adequate penetration. As far as the anti-clogging properties, it pretty much pre-clogs it, like I've said in the past. Like, that's what it feels like to me, and that's really what it's doing. It's pre-clogging that cavity so it doesn't expand as fast and penetrates further, but before it does slow itself down. Now, in this case with the critical duty, it did do that exact same thing, but it wasn't near as big of a difference like we saw in that critical defense. And my guess on that is because of the way that this projectile is designed, it's not meant to peel back real far, so you still have a nice solid base. So it's probably just at the max that it could expand right there. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. Do any of y'all out there run this critical duty in the 124 plus P? Do you run it in the 135 instead? Let me know down in the comments what you run, and let me know what you think about the results you saw with the insert versus the non-insert. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you take a second and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Take a second, check out those affiliate links down in the video description if you're doing some shopping. Anything you pick up after hitting those links, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got one more really good one planned for out here today, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.